Want to do a little bit of a van update for you. Again, it got too cold up in Nashville. I don't have heat in the van yet. And that bucket right there, we won't talk about that bucket. My body lie, but still I roam. If you know what that's from, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Good morning, y'all. Joseph here. Welcome back to my channel, Life After 55. Want to do a little bit of a van update for you, let you see how it is I'm actually living right now. I have done a little bit of work to the van since the last van build video. I was not able to get any of it actually on film though. Again, I am living in this van as I'm building it, trying to make it more livable. And it's really hard sometimes for me to actually get the camera out and video what I'm doing. So I'm going to try and do a better job of that. But I just wanted to show you around, show you what I've got right now, and a little update from the last video and how I'm actually living in the van. So I am down south in Valdosta, Georgia. Again, it got too cold up in Nashville. I don't have heat in the van yet. And I woke up one morning, it said 29 degrees outside, and it was dang cold on the inside. So, yeah, I had to travel down south for a bit to get out of the cold weather until I got all the electrical hooked up and got my heater installed. And I've only got about 5 weeks left down here to make sure I get this done before I have to get back up to Nashville. So, anyway, if you look on the inside from the sliding door, you will see that I do have the subfloor completed. I want to say I only had the first half of the subfloor done on the first van build video, and I needed to finish it. It is finished. The subfloor is finished all the way up to the front there. Again, the subfloor is 2x2 framing with insulation is the pink foam board, and then I've got 1/2 inch plywood down as the subfloor. And right now I've just got a carpet sitting on top of there. Obviously I have not put the actual flooring on to the subfloor yet. That's gonna take place somewhere down the road. After I did the subfloor, I also started with the insulation. Kind of hard to see because I do have the van filled with stuff, but I have the 3M Thinsulate insulation all up on the top, all along the sides, and even down on the bottom. And I just used a spray adhesive, the 3M adhesive, to spray and put that down. That has actually helped out quite a bit. So even though there's no heat, just having that insulation up has helped quite a bit. At night, if it's cold, and it has got down to 34, 36 even here, I'll turn the van heater on, warm up the inside, shut it off, and then go to bed with my blankets. And it's never dropped below 40, even though it was like 34 outside. So not bad, livable. The insulation has definitely helped with that. I do have a makeshift, and when I say makeshift, I mean makeshift, set up here for cooking. Disregard the marksmanship, not the marksmanship. Disregard the craftsmanship on how I built this. This was done late one evening with whatever scraps of plywood I had left over and whatever hinges I had left over, and I just put something up real quick so I could have my cook stove here. I've got it disconnected right now, but it's a propane camper's cook stove, and I've got a little area set up for some spices, one plate, one bowl, one fork, a few cups, one pan to cook in. I've got the water down here. I just take this gallon jug here and fill it up anywhere I can, usually at a friend's house, and then I throw it through here, which filters it. I've got clothes in this bin over here. I've got food in that bin over there. My Jackery is sitting in between the two seats right there, so that's my Jackery Explorer 1000. That's my power supply right now until I get the electrical hooked up. I've got the solar panels over there so I can pull those out. I've got clothes hung up anywhere I can, some jackets and shirts and different things. Got my guitar sitting there and my drum practice pad over there. I've got my go bag sitting underneath the water. Got a chair set up and my refrigerator. 12-volt fridge hooked up, and that bucket right there, we won't talk about that bucket. I'm sure you can figure that out. That's for an emergency situation only. I do have a light hooked up over here so I can read at night. The bed is up. It's a full-size bed. The bed's actually going to drop down probably about 4 to 6 inches when I finally put it up exactly where it's going to be. Right now, again, that's just temporary. I have figured out how I'm going to do it, and hopefully this week actually I'll have maybe not this week, maybe beginning of next week, I'll have the bed in its actual location, and it's probably going to be about 4 to 6 inches further down. Right now, if I try to sit up in the bed at night and read, my head is hitting the insulation up top, and I don't even have the roof up yet, so or the ceiling up. So yeah, I've got to lower it down just a little bit, and I know how I'm going to do that. I am going to use a fixed bed, like I said before, and have a garage underneath the bed. Right now the garage is filled with mostly tools. I have my scuba tank set up over here, but I'm not going to get any scuba diving done while I'm down here. But mostly it's just some wood and tools. I have some carpet laid down right now, and I don't know if I'm going to keep that back here for the garage or not. It's pretty sturdy indoor outdoor carpet, but right now it's laid down just for protection of the wood. But yeah, I've got all my tools set up here, and kill mat and wiring and wires and connectors and all the stuff I'm going to need to start putting up this week. I have all my electrical components. I'm going with the Battle-Born batteries. They're not going to be in this exact spot. They're not going to be in this exact spot. I will move them once I figure out how I'm going to set this whole compartment up. But I have gone with the Battle-Born batteries. They're at two 100 amp hour lithium ion batteries. I've got the Victron Multi Plus Compact. It's a 2000 watt inverter charger. I've got a control panel here to bring in all of the 12 volt and 120 volt into here. I've got the charge controller up in here, the DC controller up in here. I've got a shore power that I'm going to be connecting in. So it's going to be, again, a slow build, a slow process, living in the van while you're trying to build it. You know, if I was living in a house or living in an apartment somewhere and had the van to work on the side, that would be one thing, especially if I had another vehicle, but I don't. I'm living in it and building it at the same time, and that makes it a little difficult to do, but it's going to get done. It is going to take me some time. This is also a time where I'm not working, so I'm basically living off of my retirement. Softball has stopped for the winter. It's what are we, December 13th today? Yep, December 13th. So I have no softball to umpire for the rest of this month, no softball in January, so I have no income coming in other than my retirement, and that makes it really tight. So we'll be waiting until February, probably, until we start buying more components, buying the refrigerator, buying the stove, buying the shower to put in, and all that type of stuff. But you know what, it's livable right now, and that's what matters. I can live in it. The heater actually showed up today. I got a message on my email and on a text that said the heater has been delivered, so I'm about to actually head back and pick up the heater and start figuring out some wiring. I am going to try and video the wiring process, or at least some of it, and show you how I'm actually wiring the van up, because I am going to be running 12 volt with the Battleborn batteries, but I'm also going to be running 120 with the Victron inverter charger. I'm going to have a microwave in there that's going to require 120. I'm going to have the stove, which is going to require 120. I'm also going to have what else is going to require 120? I don't know. That may be it. But so I've got to run 12-3 wire. I've got to run 12-2 wire. I've got some 14 gauge wire. And I'm not an electrician. I'm not a carpenter, but I built the subfloor. I'm not an electrician, but I'm gonna make it happen. I've spent a lot of time on the phone with Battleborn as they've walked me through the process to make this happen. Talking about wire sizes, gauges, talking about fuses, and what needs to go where. Yeah, it's a process. I can tell you that much for sure. If you don't know what you're doing, you can do it, but it is a process. It's a learning process, and I like that process. I enjoy learning, so this is fun for me. I also have already installed the solar panels. I have 3 200-watt Renogy solar panels up on top, and there's a couple ways to put those up. I went ahead and decided to go with a rail system from a company called Unica. I'm not even sure actually how it's pronounced. So I went with 80/20 aluminum rail system. A lot of people go with this stuff, Una steel, Una brackets, Una strut. I think that's what it's called, Una strut. And you know, that's one way to do it, and it's probably the cheaper way to do it. But I got a hold of this company after watching a previous video, Unica, and I talked with them, and I can tell you, yes, it's more expensive. This 80/20 aluminum is definitely more expensive, but this is a company that does this for a living, and they do it at their shop. I believe they're out of Reno, Nevada, or are they out of South Carolina? Gosh, I forget if they're out of Reno, Nevada, or if they're out of South Carolina. Hopefully I'll punch that up right here and let you know. But anyway, I talked with them, and I gotta tell you, the customer service from this company was outstanding. They sat on the phone with me for probably over an hour just the first time, explaining to me what their system does, how it sets up. They went over with me on what I had, what I wanted to do, what I was going to put up there. So I told them that I had 2 Renogy 200-watt solar panels. They're like, okay, we have the measurements for those. They asked me if I was going to do a fan. I said, yes, I'm going to do the Max Air fan. They said, okay, have you bought it yet? I said, no. They're like, okay, well, we sell them if you want, and we'll match price anything. They have the measurements. So they asked me, you know, which van do you have? I told them it's the 3500 extended body. And so they have all those measurements at their company. After over an hour conversation with them, they sent me picture after picture after picture of the top of vans, saying, okay, you could do it this way. You could put a solar panel here, you can do a fan, you can put 2 solar panels, you can do 2 solar panels, then a fan and a solar panel. You can do, you know, whatever you want to do. Actually, we're only talking about 2 solar panels and a deck. And I said, well, what if I want to put the 3rd solar panel up? Okay, well, give us some time and we'll send something your way. Right? We get off the phone and bam, they send me some more pictures. Well, this is how you do it if you want 3. You can do this. So they gave me a whole bunch of different photos of a ProMaster van with the panel sitting up there and how they would go. And I just felt that, like, you know, this was the way to go for me. This was a all-in-one system. They've got the brackets, they've got the hardware, they've got everything that you need to put this system together, and they were just willing to spend, I mean, honestly, the first phone call was over an hour. They sent me pictures. Then I called again. We talked about adding the third panel. We talked for probably 45 minutes to an hour again. They sent me more pictures. We called back. We talked. This company has spent probably close to 6 hours on the phone with me before I pushed the buy button and bought everything off of them. Cannot say enough about the customer service that Unica Gear gives. It's just, again, I don't know anything, so I mean, I'm probably asking them some stupid questions, and they had no problems answering all of my questions. Okay. One quick little extra piece. Whoa, there's a hole there. One little extra piece I just added to the van that I want to show you. I'm gonna have to shut these doors. I guess you can't say I'm really stealth anymore. My body lie, but still I roam. If you know what that's from, go ahead and leave it in the comments. And yes, my logo. Good friend of mine here in Valdosta, Joey Webb from Webb Graphics, did that for me from his shop. I called him up and said, hey, this is what I want to do. You know, can you handle this? But yeah, let me know when you want to stop by. I'll have it done for you immediately. And he did. In fact, the YouTube little emblem there wasn't part of the initial. I called him back up the next day and said, hey, Joey, you know, I'd really like to put just a small little YouTube logo right next to Life After 55, just on the bottom right-hand corner. He's like, yep, stop by. I'll have it cut out when you get here. So Joey Webb with Webb Graphics took care of that for me and did just an outstanding job putting that together, putting on and doing exactly what I wanted. So anyways, guys, that's the van as it is for right now. Next is going to be some pre-wiring and getting this system hooked up. I have got to get heat in this van before I go back up to Nashville. I know you really couldn't see the solar panels very well, so I'm going to try and give you a little bit of a look of that right now. So what you're looking at is a system of 3 different companies: Unica, Renogy, and Max Air. Obviously the solar panels are Renogy 200 watt solar panels, the Max Air fan, and then Unica makes what you're looking at here. That's a 2-piece fairing right there. They sell a 1-piece, but they're trying to go away from it because it costs too much for shipping, the box is too big and so forth. But I've got 3 of the Renogy 200 watt solar panels right there. And then Unica makes this rail system. They make those brackets that attach to the top of the ProMaster. ProMaster has nubs on it, so they make the brackets that go on there, and then their rail system attaches to those brackets. They sell all the hardware, all the corner pieces, and you know, they just did a fantastic job working with me. Now, they said I should have about 40 inches of space left over for the deck, but if you look here, and I think you'll see a better picture of it coming up, I got that fan so close to the front solar panel and so close to the second solar panel that I actually got 45 inches of deck space. And I'm still trying to figure out which boards I want to use. I'm leaning towards a composite board for the deck space. Forgive my flying skills here. It's only my 3rd time using my DJI drone, so I'm still learning it. I'm trying to get up here as close. You can see that little gap I have. So, and that's the bracket right there that mounts to the top of the van. This way I didn't actually have to drill the solar panels into the top of the van. And then that's going to be deck space right back there. but that's going to come up some other time. That's a nicety, not a necessity. All right, y'all, so that's a quick look of the inside of my van, the way it is right now, how I'm functioning in it right now. A little look of the outside of the van. Again, remember, my body lie, but still I roam. If you know where that phrase is from, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Hopefully I got a good shot of the solar panels up there for you, but I'm going to hit the road now. I'm going to get back and go take a look at that heater that just came in. So hopefully I can get that hooked up. It helped me live my best life, because that's what I'm doing. I am living my best life, and I want you to do the same thing. Guys, it doesn't matter if you're 25, if you're 55, like 56. Last week was my birthday. Not 55, 56, but it's still life after 55. In fact, because I'm 56, it's definitely life after 55. But regardless, if you're 25 or if you're 56 like me, 56, or if you're 75 or 80 or 85, it doesn't matter. Whatever your best life is, get out there and live it. Get out there and live your life. Live it to the fullest. All right, I'm gonna sign off for now. Peace out.